We're in the final stages of our build. For context, we are in the build it phase and we are in the fix stage. This is where essentially we are going to complete the build. So we're going to have a look at the different trades that are involved and the tasks that need to be carried out at that stage. Incidentally, I've noticed that most people who watch these videos have not subscribed to the channel. Would really appreciate it if you did. It would help us no end, and it would allow us to get on some particular guests that I would like to invite, but I really need a much higher subscriber base. So if you valued this video or any other videos and you enjoy this series or any of the other videos that we have on the channel, then please subscribe. So what we're going to do now is just look at the complete the build, the fix stage, and essentially one of the things that's going to happen is the service connections. So what I mean by service connections, this is like our gas, our electricity, our water. That's going to be the water coming in and then water exiting, foul water, and also your drainage water. So these all require quite a bit of groundworks in order to put them in, and so they will go in, and you're able to do that at this stage now because you've got a dry place to put the connections and you've got somewhere to connect them. It doesn't mean to say that you necessarily have to switch them on in the house. So for instance, you can have the electrical supply in there, but it doesn't mean that you actually have to switch it on. For the electrical supply, you're going to need 3 different sets of contractors to be available on the day. There's going to be your electricity provider, so that's the company that generates and supplies the electricity to your area, not to be confused with the retail provider who you will also need on. So the retail provider provides the meter box, which is what is going to be charged, where it's going to be charged for the electricity for the use in the house, and then you're going to need an electrician who can then connect that meter to the fuse box within the house, and therefore then that makes that connection. In terms of water, often you're going to have your groundworks actually dig the trenches for this, and they will supervise and inspect and make the final connection to the sewer and also for the inlet water. Gas, similar sort of situation, they are generally going to make the final connections. So there's actually lots of detail in that, but that's just basically a brief overview of what you need to be doing there. Now, while you've got your ground workers there, then there's a good opportunity now to actually get on with the landscaping, and presumably all the works have been completed on the outside at this stage, and so therefore you can complete the landscaping, and while work continues on inside the house. So what's the stuff that's going to happen inside the house? Well, you've got basically 3 main trades that are going to make their completions. That's your joiners or carpenters, who are going to put on the final fixings, such as the skirting boards, installing the doors, wardrobe doors, putting the architraves around the doors, fitting your kitchen, fitting any bespoke type of a wardrobe, or whether you've got a dressing room or whatever that happens to be, and just generally finishing off the house in that respect. And then you're going to have your plumbers and heating engineers who are going to be then fitting the radiators, fitting the boiler, and fitting your bathrooms. And then you'll have your electricians who are basically going to be putting on the final plates onto all the sockets, your smoke detectors, heat recovery system if you happen to have a heat recovery system, and anything all electrical, they're going to be doing that, and obviously your lighting. And then once that's all done, then your decorator is going to come in and make the final push on the decoration. But before your decorators have come in, you're going to have a high clean of the premises to remove as much dust as you you can and to clean it up so as that that doesn't spoil the decoration. So the decorator is going to clearly paint the walls. This is likely to be done with rollers and the ceilings, and they're going to, if the skirtings and the architraves need painted, they'll do that. Doors, depending on the finish, they may be oak doors, which may need some finishing, or they may have already got pre-finished ones. And then the staircase, depending on, again, what type of staircase. If you've got an ordinary white wood, then that will need painted. You may have an oak staircase, in which case that maybe need to be finished off, or you may be having a combination of oak and white wood, which would be painted. So you'd have the painting of the white wood and the finishing and treating of the oak. And then any external painting that needs to be done, of course, will be done at this time if you've gone, for instance, for a dry dash. A wet dash exterior, although that tends to be less common these days, and that certainly would have had to have taken place before the scaffolding came down. So that pretty much covers the aspects in terms of the final fix. In the next video in this series, what we're going to talk about is how you actually gain your completion certificate, but also maximize the value of your build, because that's very important to know how to maximize the value of the build, whether you are looking to sell it on, if that's your exit strategy, or whether you're looking to rent it out. So clearly you want maximum value if you're renting it out, because you are looking to borrow against that, and therefore you want to be able to extract as much profit out of the build, and therefore essentially what you're looking to do there is to maybe not get a great deal of profit out of it, but you're looking to have not really left any money in, because your profit has become your equity. And then this is a true value, unlike what happens when people buy existing buildings and they think they're buying it at below market value when it's not really below market value, and then they really struggle to get people to surveyors to value it up at the value that they really need in order to create that equity and therefore release funds for it. So this is a real much safer way to be able to do it, but so you've got to be able to maximize your value. Anyway, that will be the subject of the next video. If you want to watch that once it's published, then it will be here. If you want to watch the one prior to this, then it will be that video there. And please remember to subscribe, and if you'd like a copy of my book, You a Property Developer, there will be a link above and a link down below where you can get it for currently at the price of postage and packaging. In fact, it's mostly postage, in all honesty, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be carrying on that offer for very much longer. So if you would like a copy, then I would suggest that you grab that now.